Here's the time Homer had a mental breakdown in season 6. Classic, right? Well, now here's Homer losing his mind 24 seasons later.
I'll kill you!
It's just better, right? Pretty much everyone says that New Simpsons sucks, even Family Guy for crying out loud. But the truth is, it's actually outshined the golden era quite a few rare times. From plots to themes to concepts, so allow me to break it all down for you here, starting with this truly iconic gag.
Is Mr. Freely there?
Who?
Freely. First initial is IP.
Hold on, I'll check. Is IP Freely here? Hey, everybody! IP Freely! Wait a minute.
Bart prank calling Moe's Tavern is one of the longest running gags in the show, and one that gets significantly better in the modern seasons, if you'd believe it, mainly because of how diabolically clever Bart's jokes become and how unhinged Moe's reactions to them get. Like, you're totally lying to me if you think IP Freely is funnier than this.
Hi, I'm looking for a Mr. Ron. First name Mo.
Moron? Moron. I am gonna tie a rope around your neck and hang. I'll show you who's a.
Yeah, it's dark, but genius! Believe it or not, The Simpsons can get even darker than that.
Hello, Mo. Your sister's being... Is that one?
Okay, The Simpsons had a little help from Family Guy with that one. It's a shame we never got to see Moe's reaction, though. It must have been too unhinged for TV. Modern Simpsons really is just better at the prank call gag, guys, and it's not just calls, it's texts, too.
STD on my lip. Does anybody know what this STD on my lip is about? I don't even know where the hell I got this from.
Even in a room full of kids, Ugly Mo is the very last person who needs to worry about getting an STD. Okay, up next, Halloween horror. And don't come for me when I say this, but Modern Simpsons actually outshines the classic Treehouse of Horrors, at least when it comes to scaring the bejeebers out of its viewers. I mean, this was the bloodiest scene the classics ever gave us. And this, ladies and gents, is just your standard modern Treehouse of Horror.
But she's gone now. She was my last victim. Or rather, second to last.
As that clip just proved, the new Treehouse of Horrors are more gory, graphically violent, and disturbing compared to the classics, which, don't get me wrong, were still amazing, but just in a different kind of way, you know? Classic Treehouse of Horrors really just were cartoony parodies of horror movies. I mean, see Exhibit A.
I'm Mike Wallace. Wallace and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
While the new Treehouse of Horrors are still parodies, the modern animation allows for darker visuals and more cinematic intensity. Essentially, this makes the new specials feel like genuine horror movies in their own right. Also, they're just gonna be scarier simply due to the fact that modern horror movies are 10 times scarier than ones from 30 years ago. Debatable. But I mean, Coraline, right? Why the hell was a kid's movie more disturbing than The Shining, like for real? I saw both as a kid, and Coraline just stuck with me.
Dead son, I think this marriage has finally gotten out of its rut.
But I get it. You still don't think the new Treehouse of Horrors are scarier than the classics. Okay, just choose your sleep paralysis demon, folks. Who will it be? Evil Krusty Doll? Donut-headed Homer? Devil Flanders? How about the frackin' Polkadook?
I hear you.
Overall, modern Simpsons Halloween specials just have way more scare factor than the classics ever did. Still, they ain't got nothing on Patty and Selma's vacation pictures. Well, we've reached our next segment, guys, and this time we're going to be comparing how realistically old and new Simpsons portray marital struggles. And believe me, Marge and Homer have had plenty of them. Let's start with the classics. In The Last Temptation of Homer, Burns is forced to hire one woman, and knowing Homer's luck, his boss picks the most attractive candidate and sticks her right in Sector 7G.
Homer, what's the matter?
Gotta go. What the hell was that?
As you may have guessed by the title of the episode, Homer becomes tempted by a beautiful motorcycle-riding, donut-eating, and TV-loving Mindy, especially now that his wife has a terrible cold and is looking almost as bad as her sisters.
Hi, Homer. Don't kiss me. I'm all stuffed up.
Ew.
Scared he'll become unfaithful to Marge, Homer tries to avoid the temptress at every turn. A simple "sorry, I can't talk right now" would suffice, but when the hell does Homer Simpson ever act rationally?
Hey, Homer, you're hallucinating again.
Homer and Mindy end up getting sent to the National Energy Convention together, and, well, knowing how stingy Burns is, they of course end up having to share a one-room hotel together. One hotel room? Can you imagine if a hotel only had one room?
King-size bed for...
Stop that. I love my wife and family. All I'm going to use this bed for is sleeping, eating, and maybe building a little fort.
The next day, Homer and Mindy get crowned National Energy King and Queen and win a romantic dinner at the sexiest Chinese restaurant in capital city, whatever that means. Homer can't get out of it, and during dinner, he reads a fortune cookie telling him he'll find happiness with a new love. Believing he's doomed, he accepts his fate and goes back to the hotel with Mindy, the only sane person in the entire episode, mind you.
We're going to have...
Oh, we don't have to.
Mindy tells Homer to look into his heart and see what he wants, and the episode ends with him having a romantic night in with the only woman he's ever truly... The last temptation of Homer with the season 27 episode Every Man's Dream, and it's blatantly obvious that modern Simpsons nails marital problems way more accurately than classic Simpsons. After falling asleep during a fire, Homer wakes up in a hospital and gets diagnosed with narcolepsy, a rare neurological disorder that can make you suddenly fall asleep any place, any time.
Look at these vacation photos.
Oh, my. Man, you people sure take a lot of vacations.
That's just to remind me where I parked.
Dr. Hipper tells Homer he can manage his condition by avoiding stressful triggers. Now, he has a medical excuse to avoid anything he finds taxing, but he'll only use it when absolutely necessary, right? Yeah, nobody believed that for a singular second.
Dad, can you drive me to Millhouse's?
Narcolepsy.
There's a spider in my room!
Narcolepsy.
Dr. Hipper called in a prescription for you to pick up.
Narcolepsy.
Yes, for narcolepsy, which you should get now. You can't spend half your life napping.
Maggie does, and you think she's adorable.
Yes, because babies are always cute. Oh, that baby needs a diaper change.
Narcolepsy.
Marge could put up with Homer being 99% lazy, but now he's 99.9% lazy and drinking more beer than usual. Understandably, she becomes more irritated with him than ever before. And unlike the last temptation of Homer, marital conflict isn't slapstick or exaggerated for comedic effect this time. It's real and raw. So real, in fact, that when they turn to counseling, the therapist offers the most honest solution to their problems.
Marriage is rotting with the stench of death.
Oh, that seems a little strong.
How about reeking like a trash can in a dog park?
Does my marriage have to be something you can smell?
You see, Marge? You see? The only way you and Homer will ever be happy is to spend a little time apart, followed by more time apart, followed by a divorce.
What?
Marge officially gives up on Homer, and the next morning he packs his bags and says a heartfelt goodbye to the kids. I wonder how they'll cope with all this trauma.
Why is Daddy going away? Is it my fault? Just kidding. I have been waiting for this. All my problems are my parents' fault. Mr. Flanders, can I cry on your shoulder?
Boys, get my tear dicky.
Yay!
Homer lives at the plant convinced things will soon blow over and Marge will take him back like she always does. But once he learns she's changed her relationship status to It's Complicated and switched her voicemail back to her maiden name, he realizes things are serious and becomes totally depressed. Dang, that fricker moved on fast, didn't he?
You're free to try something new.
It's getting late. I should go. The donut shop will be throwing out their unsold donuts. You can buy them cheap.
Don't you want to finish your drink?
You're the pharmacist.
After embarking on a wild drug trip and waking up in bed next to another woman, Homer's shocked and realizes just how much he loves Marge. He phones home straight away to beg for forgiveness. Too bad Selma answered the call.
Hello, Homer. Marge is getting ready for a date.
Marge? On a date?
Yep, but I'll make you a deal. I will try to save your marriage if you can guess which one I am.
Patty?
Wrong!
I don't care what anybody says, she is an icon, okay? An icon. While his heart still yearns for Marge, Homer ends up dating his pharmacist and even gets a matching tattoo with her. One night, it's finally time for him to meet Candace's father. Naturally, he's super nervous. I mean, what will her dad think about the age gap? Well, as a matter of fact, he's dating a much younger woman himself.
Date an older man, but your girlfriend can.
She's not my girlfriend. Candace and I don't use labels.
Doesn't look like she uses that much shampoo either.
Lay off my girlfriend!
Roger is great with the kids. He even taught Bart how to bunt.
Roger ends up proposing to Marge right in front of Homer, and she's down to tie the knot, just as soon as her divorce from Homer is finally finalized. Screw whoever wrote this episode, man. Like, you're breaking my heart here. Thank Frick for the plot twist.
Huh? What am I doing here?
Sleeping through our therapy session.
Dreaming only about you. So none of it happened? We're still together?
Somehow.
Woohoo! And you thought our only option was to break up.
Cue's second plot twist that almost had me screaming at my TV. It was all just a dream. Homer snaps back to reality at the bar with Candace and immediately runs to Marge in Roger's house, aka his house. Why the hell did Marge get it? Like, she's barely worked a day in her life. But looking at another man sitting in his chair, his happy wife and kids, it makes Homer realize he's lost everything he holds dear. Lisa hears the sounds of his mental breakdown and promises that nothing could ever come between them. Sure.
So where are you, dear? I thought we'd get in a game of chess before we go pony shopping.
Gotta go.
Lisa!
I'll Skype you at Christmas.
Huh. So it was all my dream.
Oh, so here's something modern Simpsons sucks at compared to the classics. Plot twists. 3 in the span of 5 minutes? Guys, are we for real with that? My emotions have been played with too many times today. While the events of the episode were only a dream, they did perfectly demonstrate the quiet, weary reality of a long-term marriage, and that, my friends, is something old Simpsons didn't quite do. In Season 5, Homer's dilemma was overdramatic, comedic, built around exaggerated misunderstandings and near misses. The marital problems in every man's dream, however, centered on something far more realistic: emotional distance and resentment.
I smell beer. Did you go to Moe's?
Oh, every time I have beer on my breath, you assume I've been drinking. Oh, that's a long one.
Did you at least get the medicine?
I tried, and I failed miserably. But I'm willing to work this out in counseling.
We've been to every counselor, from Avery to Zabinski.
No cartoony chaos, just pure exhaustion with each other. All in all, modern Simpsons shows Homer and Marge's bond is a living, breathing thing rather than just a sitcom status quo, and that definitely ain't the last reason why the new seasons are better in some aspects. Political commentary. While no show can beat South Park, politics are something the Simpsons are way better at now than they were in the 90s. Compared to how political the new seasons of the show are, and don't say they aren't because they literally listed 50 reasons not to vote for the current president, it didn't make much of a difference though. Classic Simpsons barely made political commentary that brazen. Lisa's activism wasn't nearly as frequent and radical as it is now. Don't get me wrong, she protested for animal rights, went to Washington and literally exposed all the political corruption going on, also iconically fought those disgustingly sexist Malibu Stacy dolls.
Is the remarkably sexist drivel spouted by Malibu Stacy intentional, or is it just a horrible mistake?
Lisa's stance on social and political issues would just become a lot stronger in the mid and modern seasons, winning the show 6 Genesis Awards and 9 Environmental Media Awards. Most recently for that episode they did on fracking. In this episode, Lisa tried to put a stop to Mr. Burns' fracking operation, but she was just too small to make a difference.
Give these two brats what they deserve for sticking their noses in my business.
At least on her own. After calling on Democratic Assemblywoman Maxine Lombard for help, Lisa finally got the operation shut down. Burns, 0. The environment, 1. At least where fracking was concerned anyway.
All you lost was money, but what you get is me.
While Burns is a heart made of stone, little Lisa's is made of gold, but let's be honest, she can be one pushy kid alright, especially in modern Simpsons. In the newer seasons, hardly an episode goes by without Lisa making a direct political comment, whereas she wasn't nearly as outspoken in classic Simpsons. Overall, if you're someone who doesn't mind politics weaving its way into entertainment, the newer seasons of The Simpsons are worth a watch. Whichever side you fall on, the commentary still feels relevant to the world that we're living in today. Of course, if you don't like politics weaving its way into entertainment, then yeah, classic Simpsons it is. Now it's time for us to compare Grandpa Simpson's legacy. Old versus new Simpsons. Which one will round off Abe's character better? Well, let's find out. But first, allow me to present the old fricker at his finest.
My Homer is not a communist. He may be a liar, a pig, an idiot, a communist, but he is not a...
Humiliating Homer on live TV is far from the worst thing Abe has done as a father. To put it bluntly, his relationship with Homer has been pretty crappy since they were both on the Tracy Ullman Show. And it's only gotten worse in The Simpsons' golden age, with Abe constantly tearing Homer down at every turn and all those childhood flashbacks, man. I mean, they were just brutal.
You, President? This is the greatest country in the world. We've got a whole system set up to keep people like you from ever becoming president.
Homer and Abe's relationship used to be defined solely by neglect and yelling. And probably the biggest example of this is the season 6 episode, Grandpa versus Sexual Inadequacy. In this episode, Homer's having bedroom troubles, but don't worry, Grandpa Abe can fix all his love problems with a little home remedy that'll definitely damage at least 3 of your vital organs.
Hey! Here you go, you ingrate. Think of me when you're having the best of your life. Yeah! Drink it!
Grandpa was right, and Homer and Marge have the best they've had in years. Realizing this is a genius way to make money, Homer and Abe team up to sell the love potion to everyone in Springfield. It's a huge success, and once every grown-up in town is under the sheets, Simpson and Son hit the road to become traveling salesmen. After leaving Spittle County, they pass by their abandoned farmhouse. Grandpa starts reminiscing about the good old days, but Homer remembers life on that farm not so fondly.
Maybe I could have been something more than I am, like a travel agent to a great scientist, or the inventor of a hilarious refrigerator alarm.
Who are you to complain?
Homer continues driving and tells his dad he's never said one nice thing to him in his life. That comment, of course, sparks a heated argument. They've had thousands of those, but this time Abe's words cut a lot deeper than usual.
All right, that's it. We're going home. I'm sick of you and your stupid tonic.
You were an accident.
Get out.
Homer abandons his dad on the roadside. Back home, he uses Abe's cruel words as inspiration to become a better father to his own kids. He tried, I'll give him that.
That is a girl's bike.
You're no girl. You're a boy. A good boy.
Homer and Abe end up returning to the farmhouse unaware of each other's presence. After both accidentally setting fire to the place, they realize they're both massive screw-ups and forgive each other. You know it's sad that this is literally the nicest thing Abe has ever had to say about his own son.
I was always proud.
Aw, Dad.
Classic Abe's character is easy to understand. He's a jerk, a terrible father, a senile, rambling mess. Modern Simpsons' take on Abe ain't so straightforward, though. Emphasis on the straight part. The season 30 episode Mad About the Toy dives deeper into Abe's past way more than the classic seasons ever did. Right off the bat, we learn that he has PTSD from the war, an oddly specific type of PTSD, but PTSD nonetheless.
No! Stop shooting!
Nobody better let Gramps watch Toy Story. So Abe will just freak out if he sees a toy army man, but loud bangs and gunshots don't affect him at all? Why is that? Well, turns out it wasn't the actual combat part of the war that traumatized him. See, after the war ended, Abe became a model for toy army men. That was a career move he would live to regret, and not because they never paid him afterwards. Oh no, something so incredibly traumatizing happened at that photo shoot, and this is serious, so don't you dare laugh.
You're my kind of man. That's not what I meant!
And we thought Vietnam was bad. While Abe's reaction might seem totally ridiculous to our modern eyes, it does actually make some kind of sense. Homophobia was of course rampant in the 1940s, so as soon as Abe tattled, Philip was fired. And that is something he still feels immense guilt about to this day.
Texas? That's where my friend Louisiana Joe is from!
And that's exactly what Abe did. After tracking down Philip and apologizing for ruining his career, he finally finished that photo session and maybe realized he was actually bi-curious all this time.
Sorry, my friend. This army man is as straight as Gomer Pyle.
Yep, as straight as a line. Whatever you say, Gramps. We saw a more raw, vulnerable side to Abe in that episode. He wasn't just some senile old calamity mistaking Homer's tool shed for an outhouse or Maggie for a mailbox. This time he went on an emotional journey, confronted his past, wrestled with his regrets, and he finally freed himself from decades of deep internalized shame. Modern Simpsons gives Abe's character more soul and agency, so it definitely beats old Simpsons when it comes to creating a more layered and meaningful legacy for his character. New Simpsons is clearly outdoing the classics, at least when it comes to family dynamics. Sibling rivalry is another prime example of this. Classic Simpsons made it clear that Bart was insanely jealous of Lisa when she was born. In Lisa's first word, the story of Lisa's birth is told, and we learn how less than thrilled her big bro was about her arrival.
Stupid mailman.
Like most toddlers, Bart was jealous a new baby had come along and taken all the attention away from him. It was a temporary childhood hurdle, though, and he was completely over it once Lisa said a very special first word.
Bart, 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 Bart. I'm her first word.
That episode was funny, adorable, sweet. What Lisa's first word didn't do, however, was show Bart as a complex character all that much. The kid developed a lasting, lifelong insecurity the day Lisa was born, and there simply needs to be more to the story than just a brief, jealous toddler phase. Leave this to Season 27's Barthood. Unlike Season 4, this episode follows Bart across multiple stages of his life. Yes, even through the bad haircuts and abhorrent taste in chicks.
Wow, you make out
just like Terry said you to.
Wait, you're not Terry?
No, I'm Sherry. But the further we go, the more you'll know the difference.
What is most central to the story, however, is the years of insecurity we see built up in Bart as Lisa repeatedly outshines him academically and emotionally.
Mouse hits cat. Cat goes splat.
Very good, Lisa. Very, very good. And with barely any knowledge of diphthongs, sibilants, and phonemes.
How come she can read and I can't?
Bart continues acting out as his parents praise Lisa and fail to pay enough attention to him. A psychologist suggests Homer takes Bart on a camping trip so they can bond. And you thought using a bug zapper to catch the fish was lazy.
Hamilton, it's too far in front, and the ref waves off the icing.
The TV is north of the bed.
Better hit the hay, son. Learning this new remote really took something out of me. Never saw a menu button colored green before. Woo! Crazy buttons.
So, how was your camping trip with your father?
Okay, we got lots of Starwood points at the hotel.
Back home, Bart discovers Lisa is Springfield Elementary's Student of the Month after only attending for a month. Angry that he's been there 2 years and never won jack, the kid storms away and Homer comes to remind him that he loves his kids exactly the same.
You're gonna be glad to have a sister when you grow up.
You're always gonna like her better than me.
That's not true. I love you both the same amount. 40%. I gotta leave room in the budget.
Then will you put this on your car?
I'll be proud to.
The next day, Bart watches Homer dump the bumper sticker he made him on the driveway and loses all faith in him forever. Fast forward to the kid's 12th birthday, and Lisa overshadows him again by winning Student of the Month for the 48th consecutive time. Can't really help that but bragging about it on her bro's big day. Now that was so tone-deaf, even Marge is annoyed at her.
But you know, it is Bart's birthday.
No, this is fine. Just let me fix this. There. Now it's all about you. Happy?
I'll go get him. Oh, it's no use. He's walking kind of fast.
Abe gives Bart a cool BMX bike for his birthday, and 3 years later, he's a talented stunt performer. After visiting his Gramps' grave, he decides to enter a BMX contest, knowing it's the only thing Lisa can never overshadow him in. But never say never.
Finally, out of Lisa's shadow. No!
Yes. Thank God I aced chest compressions at Mayo pre-med camp.
And Bart's okay. The real star of this BMX tournament is Lisa Simpson.
Lisa! You've ruined everything I've ever done!
Move, quick!
No!
Bart gives up on BMX and tries drawing caricatures of the port. When it's finally time to graduate high school, he's totally humiliated as Lisa's in the same class as him and dating Milhouse. Ew. But Nelson dating her could technically be considered a crime, right?
Nelson, how can you say that with what's happened to you?
Yeah, well, I bought a totally bitchin' car with the money I got selling my pituitary gland. So cool.
At the graduation party, Mr. and Mrs. Van Houten argue in front of Milhouse, so Lisa cheers him up by telling him he's looking cuter than ever. Biggest lie she's told in 27 seasons. Anyway, Milhouse replies that Lisa's the most amazing thing at the party, and that, my friends, is the final straw for Bart.
Best Simpson at my best friend's party. Do you know what it's like to be second best at anything?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to Yale. Listen here, Bart Simpson. I am sick and tired of you blaming me for every setback you have ever had. And you have talents too, you idiot. You're a hell of an artist, even though you don't do anything with it.
You think I'm an artist?
And you already have a true artist's most important asset, a miserable life.
Taking his sister's range as advice for once, Bart works hard, and 2 years later, he's got his own bike customization business, named in honor of Abe. Aw, Homer, that could have been you if you weren't such a deadbeat.
You get to ride on the walls.
Wow, that's beautiful. I do notice there's no me.
Those are the breaks. Why don't I buy you and your boyfriend a couple beers? Just let me close up.
That would be nice. We'll see you at the car. Oh.
You weren't supposed to see.
Well, I'm glad I did.
Lisa thanks Bart for the mural he created in her honor, and the episode ends with Nelson mind-blown to discover that Bart was the infamous El Barto. What makes Barthood better than Lisa's first word is that it's simply a more accurate take on sibling rivalry. Instead of reducing Bart's jealousy to one cute toddler phase, it shows how that resentment lingers, how it builds up over the years and quietly shapes the person he becomes. There is no quick fix for Bart's resentment of Lisa and Barthood, no, not even Pot, and believe me, he's not the only one who sparked a doobie.
Hey, idiots! The bong stays in the treehouse!
Hey, boy.
Are you crazy? What if the cops come? You're here too?
It literally took Bart years to get over the quiet resentment he's always felt towards his sister, and this is a far more realistic take on sibling dynamics. To sum up, classic Simpsons gave us a cute origin story, modern Simpsons gave us a life story. New Simpsons wins again, but how will it ever compare to classic Simpsons in regards to this stupid, sexy character?
Hell, diddly ding dong crap! Can't you morons do anything right?
Hey. Ned, we meant well, and everyone here tried their best.
Well, my family and I can't live in good intentions, Marge. Oh, your family is out of control, but we can't blame you because you have good intentions.
Hey, back off, man.
Oh, okay, dude. I wouldn't want you to have a cow, man. Here's a catchphrase you better learn for your adult years. Hey, buddy, got a quarter?
I am shocked and appalled.
Mr. Flanders, with all due respect, Bart didn't do anything.
Do I hear the sound of butting in? It's gotta be little Lisa Simpson, Springfield's answer to a question no one asked. What do we have here? The long, flabby arm of the law? The last case you got to the bottom of was a case of Malamars!
Malamars, oh, that's going in the act.
Oh, yeah, the clown. The only one of you buffoons who doesn't make me laugh. And as for you, I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a jerk.
Hey, I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on?
You ugly, hate-filled man.
Hey, I may be ugly and hate-filled, but I've, what was the third thing you said?
Homer, you are the worst human being I have ever met.
Hey, I got off pretty easy.
Classic Simpsons gave us so many iconic Flanders moments, so how could the modern seasons ever compare? Well, not only do they compare, in my opinion, they've actually done more for Ned's character than the classics ever did. And finally, stealing his own stuff back from Homer is just the tip of the iceberg. Here's a clip of that because you need to see this.
You have to tell me why you're destroying my stuff!
It's my stuff, you imbecile.
Yeah, you imbecile. Aside from finally getting revenge on Homer, the best thing modern Simpsons has done for Flanders is freeing him from the ultra-Christian caricature he was originally and giving him more depth and dimension. Classic Ned was quite literally the final boss of the Legend of Lightnings from Bart's Comet. In this episode, Comet was due to decimate Springfield, and Ned was the only one prepared, but didn't hesitate to share his bomb shelter with everybody in town. So somehow that escalated into him sacrificing his own life for the ungrateful jerks.
Anyone dies, it should be him. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So let's kick Flanders out. Sorry.
Well, sir, sounds fair.
Flanders always took Love Thy Neighbor to the absolute extreme in the older seasons. No matter how badly others disrespected him, stepped all over him, even causing his beloved Maud to fall to her death, he turned the other cheek and forgave her that restoration. Like Jesus does teach to do that, but like letting Maud fall to her death? But why though? Fast forward to season 33, and can we even be sure this is the real Ned Flanders? Like,
Do this, Neddy. Just think about Homer Simpson.
in a serious Flanders, Ned winds up in the deadly criminal underworld when a ruthless debt collector is hunting him down for donating a large bag of money he found to an orphanage. Talk about sick.
He's gone.
No, I'm not. I started to hide, but I couldn't find any good places. I'll see you later.
The psycho killer, Costas, soon finds out where Flanders lives and sends his minions after him pronto. There was a little bit of mix-up though, and honestly this is a straight-up karma for borrowing all of Ned's stuff.
Nighty-night, Mr. Flanders.
Homer's been kidnapped and taken to Costas, and it doesn't take long before he realizes he's got the wrong guy. Homer can only be freed if Ned pays a ransom within 24 hours, call the police, and his neighborino gets it. While Flanders turns to God for guidance, Marge goes out looking for her missing husband. Naturally, Lard Lad's the first place she checks, but instead of finding Homer, she walks straight into a shootout between Fat Tony and the very man who's taken her homie. Custis murders everyone in Lardlad but spares Marge. As he walks away, Homer's blood-stained ID slips from his pocket, and just like that, Marge knows exactly who's taken her tubby hubby. In part 2, Marge brings Homer's blood-splattered ID to Chief Wiggum, but if he can't even catch Snake, what chance does he stand against Custis?
Up in this, he's probably a cruller by now. Oh, Satan himself has come to this town, and I'm not man enough to take him on. If you see Lou, tell him Eddie's chief now. The killer's driving the rich Texan's car.
Over at the Flanders, Ned panics over how he's supposed to come up with the ransom money for Homer. A GoFundMe isn't exactly going to cut it. I guess there's only one thing to do, and it's absolutely unthinkable.
Steal back the money I gave to these orphans.
We love you, Mr. Flanders.
While Flanders sleeps with the orphanage owner to steal the key to the safe, Marge rescues Homer from the burning building he was being held captive in. Flanders takes off with the ransom money in a getaway car, only to drive past Homer and Marge. Obviously, he's taken aback and he loses control and crashes the car. And just remember, folks, everything he's done so far has all been for this absolute piece of trash.
I saved you! Finally mine.
Marge declares she's married to the most selfish man in the world, and I'm pretty dang pissed. I thought karma was totally coming for Homer's butt in this next scene.
Look at this man. He saved the orphans' money and the flag. Look at the burns on his saintly arm. Oh, this Heskey gent is an American hero. Yeah! Not like that snake Ned Flanders. Why, he stole this money after trying to seduce me out of my happily closed marriage to Sideshow Mel.
Ned escapes, but Costas is still trying to hunt him down. Homer, of course, doesn't tell the truth and accepts the key to the city without feeling a single shred of guilt. 3 years later, he's shamelessly running a car repair shop called Heroic Lube and Tire. He's got Springfield fooled, but Marge is just as disgusted as she was the day of that crash.
Hero. The word makes me sick to my stomach. I'll never forget seeing you choose the money instead of saving Ned. Never.
I wish I could explain, but I can't.
I would have left this godforsaken marriage years ago if it wasn't for the kids.
Flanders' house has been abandoned by this point with the words thief, crook, and gosh darn perv graffitied all over it. Now, if he didn't go to prison and Costas still hadn't put him 6 feet under, where the hell is he? And where are the kids? Well, let's just say I hope Rod and Todd aren't allowed anywhere near a school.
Don't shoot, you little weirdos!
Daddy, it's Mr. Simpson.
Hardly home, neighborino. So, how are things in good old Springfield?
It's okay. Jailbert got super religious. And Marge hates me. Our marriage is deader than disco stew.
Marge breaks into Ned's shack thinking her husband's been sneaking away to have an affair behind her back. Homer admits he's been secretly sneaking food and supplies to the Flanders family, but survival won't be their biggest concern anymore. Not now that Costas has finally found Ned. Flanders won't put anybody else in danger and brings himself to Costas. After 3 years of lies, theft, and moral compromises, he believes he deserves whatever punishment is coming to him, even if it means paying the debt with his own blood. He's ready to die, but once Costas has the nerve to dishonor his grandfather's good name, oh yeah, it's go time. The ice gives way, drowning Costas and freeing Ned from his debt at long last. Okay, so, a lot went down in that two-parter, but can you even imagine classic Ned Flanders doing any of that? No, you can't, because modern Simpsons totally morphed his character. In A Serious Flanders, Flanders became just that, a serious Flanders, while he never abandoned his faith. Instead of his morality being the punchline, it was tested. Being good is no longer a personality trait. It's an active choice he makes. Character development is probably the biggest thing modern Simpsons surpasses the classics at, and it's not just the humans. Santa's Little Helper has come a long way since he lost that race on Christmas Eve 1989. While the Simpsons' pet dog has always been part of the family, the classic seasons of the show definitely neglected him even more than the Simpsons did themselves.
I've never been so sure of anything in my life.
In Dog of Death, the Simpsons are so distracted by the lottery, they don't even notice Santa's Little Helper is seriously ill. When he collapses, they take him to the vet and find out he needs a stomach surgery. Too bad they didn't win the $130 million jackpot that day.
How much will it cost?
$750.
Well, I guess we'll have to talk it over.
This is why you get pet insurance, folks. The family makes budget cuts and gives up their favorite possessions to afford the surgery, and Santa's Little Helper is right as rain. Only for the family to all hate him a few days later.
I know you can't understand me, but you're a lousy dog and I hate you.
Not now.
Dumb dog.
Hurt and ignored, Santa's Little Helper runs away and ends up getting adopted by Mr. Burns, who trains him to become one of his attack hounds. The brainwashing process is highly effective, so when a very remorseful Bart comes to reclaim his mutt, he's not exactly as friendly as he remembers.
What's the matter, boy? Don't you know me? I love you, boy.
Remembering all the good times he's had with Bart snaps Santa's Little Helper back to reality, and he turns on the other hounds, trying to attack his owner. Bart and his best friend head home, and that's pretty much it for the episode. Dog of Death is a classic, and while Santa's Little Helper was a driving force in the storyline, we still didn't see much depth and dimension to his character. That's how it was in the Golden Age, though. The dog mainly existed in the background, sometimes seen playing with Bart, beating up Homer, or sneaking a lamb chop. Not much was actually known about Santa's Little Helper's past, other than that he was a racer dog, but that was old Simpsons. Season 31's The Way of the Dog fleshes out Santa's Little Helper's character, explaining his true backstory, which is 1,000 times more tragic than Bart's report card. In this episode, the family seek help from a canine psychologist to save Santa's Little Helper from being euthanized. He bit Marge once, but Homer can strangle a kid hundreds of times and nobody's ever thought to put him down. Elaine Wolf takes Santa's Little Helper to the Cognitive Behavioral Institute. During therapy, she discovers the pup actually loves Marge more than anything, so why'd he bite her? Ah yes, the Christmas hat. It's all starting to make sense now.
Go, Santa's Little Helper. Come on, keep him, Dad, please.
But he's a loser. He's a Simpson.
Santa's Little Helper was a racing dog? Has to confront his abuser, and he's gonna do it right now.
Elaine and the Simpsons track down the giant asshole who trained Santa's Little Helper to be a racing dog. A few slaps ain't gonna cut it though. If Santa's Little Helper is going to overcome his PTSD, he needs to confront his abuser himself.
Where's he going?
To his mother.
Oh.
Reuniting with the mom he was cruelly ripped away from cures Santa's Little Helper's PTSD. The Way of the Dog is easily better than Season 3's Dog of Death, simply because it didn't use Santa's Little Helper as a plot device, it dissected him. While Dog of Death was a strong emotional episode in itself, The Way of the Dog literally dove into 30 years of canon. Through extended flashbacks, we saw Santa's Little Helper's true origin before becoming a racing dog. And now we know that classic moments like these...
Sit. 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 Sit! Sit!
weren't just dumb or bad dog moments at all. They were a trauma response, and we had no clue for 31 seasons. Overall, The Way of the Dog is, at least in my opinion, one of the greatest deep dives into any character's backstory in The Simpsons. Modern Simpsons absolutely wins this time, hands down. Well guys, let me ask you something. Which Simpsons episode exposes the reality of the American dream best? Some of you would probably say Homer's Enemy, but truthfully, modern Simpsons is just better at showing the harsh, damning reality of the American dream. Let's revisit old Grimy before we compare anything, though.
That got it.
Y'all probably know how this story goes. Frank Grimes has a super tragic backstory. Abandoned at age 4, survived a horrific silo explosion at 18. He perseveres, gains a degree in nuclear physics, gets a job at the plant, only to have his hard-earned achievement mocked by Homer Simpson's effortless, ignorant success.
Physics. I'm sure you all have one.
Oh yeah, Carl and I each have a master's. Of course, old Homer, he didn't need a degree. He just showed up the day they opened the plant.
Grimy is horrified and bitterly jealous that an idiotic, lazy, incompetent man-child like Homer Simpson has has a better house than him, 3 kids, a stable job,
This
and
is
don't even
when
get
I
me
was on
started
tour
on
with the
these
Smashing
insane
Pumpkins.
accomplishments.
Oh, and here's a picture of me in outer space.
You went into outer space. You.
Sure. You've never been?
No, I wouldn't.
Frank storms out saying Homer Simpson is exactly what's wrong with America. The absurd consequence-free world of Springfield eventually pushes Grimes to a full-on mental breakdown, and he goes around the plant relentlessly mocking Homer. I'm sure you all know the rest from here.
Well, I don't need safety gloves because I'm Homer Simpson.
The whole idea behind Homer's enemy was to skewer 90s optimism and the idea that merit equals success. However, the episode just didn't really challenge the status quo all that well. Homer doesn't change. Springfield doesn't change. The whole universe is still centered on the idea that anyone, no matter how lazy or stupid they are, no matter how bad the economy might be, anybody can have the American dream. Now let's jump ahead to season 33. Unlike Homer's enemy, which showed the American dream is easily achievable, Poorhouse Rock shows a more realistic economy. In this episode, Homer finds out that Bart thinks he's a loser. Took him long enough. Now he's determined to make his son admire him, and he'll start by showing him just how hard he works to provide for the family.
And this dealie over here is if the core goes missing.
Has that ever happened?
Not on my watch.
Shockingly, Bart's not only impressed by Homer's job, he actually wants to be like him when he grows up. Little man's already got the shirt and tie covered.
I am dressed this way to honor Dad.
Bart comes with Homer to work again, but this time he meets a janitor who crushes his dreams of ever getting a job like Daddy's. But he did that with a musical number, so we can't really be too mad at him, can we?
Gradually it all went to hell.
Bart is unfazed by the song, so Lisa breaks into a rap solo about how Homer's lifestyle, single income, big suburban house, 3 kids, housewife, it's all statistically out of reach for the new generation.
You're gonna pinch every dollar and cent, and you'll still have to choose between healthcare and rent.
With his dreams of basic financial and job stability crushed, Bart runs away to the treehouse, but the janitor follows him and tells him to burn it all down. He meant the system, but nobody needs to ask Bart Simpson to destroy something twice.
All dreams die, so goodbye, middle class.
The fire spreads and traps Bart in his treehouse. The fire department rescues him, and the kid decides he wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. I mean, it's a pretty good career now thanks to climate change.
I'm gonna be a fireman.
But you still hold me in high regard.
Eat my shorts, you tub of lard.
Poorhouse Rock was kinda cringe, but everything it said was bang on. But what exactly makes that better than Homer's enemy? Well, modern Simpsons doesn't just satirize the American dream like classic Simpsons, it questioned its existence. So while Homer's enemy did critique the fantasy, Poorhouse Rock was better because it expanded the joke and directly called out the system for failing younger generations. Well, there you have it, folks. Every time, new Simpsons was better than the classics. If you clicked on this video thinking modern Simpsons sucks compared to the 90s, I probably didn't change your mind. But hey, you still watched to the end. Want to see more videos like this one? Click the screen right about now. And as always, guys, thank y'all for watching.